Poppy Playtime game is finding out who the monster is, and for it to just be a character that we've already seen in the past, it will be kind of disappointing to many fans, so I don't think that that's what they're doing. And I'm not saying that Braun doesn't deserve to be in Chapter 4, he's deserved to be in the series ever since Chapter 1. We saw how he could possibly move in the Chapter 1 first trailer, and so far in all 3 of the games, we've only heard a couple of his voice lines on cardboard cutouts. But I feel like now, since we're getting more and more deep into the series, Braun is kind of an outdated character. We're moving on to things like Catnap, the prototype, so I don't think that they would go back and do Braun. But there is a chance that they could revisit things from past games, because at one point, someone in their Discord server asked if we're ever going to see parts that we never saw in Chapter 1, like this room, and a couple rooms that we also weren't able to access, and they said it will come back. Not that it might, it will. So if that comes back, there is a chance we could see past characters we haven't seen yet, maybe Daisy the Flower, Cat Bee, or possibly Braun. But anyways, speaking of the prototype, I did say that how he's pretty much the final boss for Poppy Playtime, so then that asks the question, is Chapter 4 going to be the last game? So far, everybody's been thinking that yes, Chapter 4 will be the final game in this franchise, and then a bunch of other people are saying no, it'll probably have a bunch more chapters. And me personally, I don't think that Chapter 4 is the last game, because at one point in Mob Games Discord server, one of the developers was joking around and saying that they should be in a VHS tape, but they're not, and then they said maybe for Chapter 5, and that's not all, because they also said or 6. And while that's not flat out confirming it, this does tease that there will be more games after Chapter 4. And most mascot horror games don't end at a short number like 4. And Poppy Playtime, I'm expecting at least 6 or 7, but those games are years down the line. Let's talk about Chapter 4 and its release date. So a couple days ago on their Twitter, they said that Chapter 3 had a development time of 8 months. And at first you might be like, oh, that means Chapter 4 is probably going to come out in 8 months if they start working on it now. Well, the problem with that is that they're obviously not just going to start on Chapter 4 right after Chapter 3 comes out, and they also have